So there's a spool of nylon string that can be used over and over. This, I think, has, I don't know, 50 feet, maybe even up to 100 feet of string on it. So year by year, you would just continue to pull it down. It's on a frame that has a mechanism on it that you would just squeeze, and it will release the spool. You can pull the spool down. From the ceiling, the wire that you have ran up above. So the wire is ran all the way down the tunnel, and then you just clip it on, and then you pull your string down over your plant. I have this one already clipped twice. It's pretty big. I had to pick it up off of the ground. And then there's these little clips like this that clip together just like that. And that's going to go, your string that's ran from the ceiling is going to go right in that crevice. And then it's going to go around your tomato stem and grasp that string for stability. And I'm going to go to my string that's running straight up the stem of my vine. I'm going to stick the string inside of those little clamps and then put it around my vine and clip it. And as the plant grows, I will continue to clip, clip, clip all the way up. The farmers that have indeterminates, they have to implement something called the lower and lean method with these strings. So it's going to like curtain the tomato plant if it continues to grow and grow. So you don't have to keep having a higher and higher ceiling because the tomato plant continues to grow and grow. They would just move the clip or even like slide it down to continue to curtain those tomato plants as the vines grow. Maybe if you have an extra clothesline, just run that heavy wire across your clothesline, make sure that it's tight, and you can buy these spools, you can get the clips on Amazon, and you can clip up your tomato plants just the same. You can find yourself some semi-determinate plants or even some determinate plants to help you not have to deal with so much of trying to figure out how to support your plants. These little guys, if you get cheap ones, they're just going to bust and fall apart. They're just cheap junk, and you're going to be fighting a different battle. Typically, I come out to work my tomato plants once a week. I try to hit it all one and done and get through, do what they need to do so there's not any lingering tasks, and they're all doing the same thing at the same time, which makes my life much easier. Let's take, for example, this tomato plant right here. It is growing very vigorously, looks like a nice plant, but there's a lot going on here. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to think twice about it. Immediately, these bottom limbs are coming off. There's no vines down there. There's no blooms down there. The plant doesn't need them. It's got plenty of other leaves. These branches could be touching the ground and drawing disease from the ground into the plant, so we want to eliminate that possibility. And then we don't want our tomato plants to be too bushy, because what it's going to do, it's going to inhibit ventilation. It's going to create a safe haven, even more so for bugs, pests, worms, whatever. And you won't be able to even see them if your plant is too bushy. And then also, if you have any treatment, your treatment is going to be less effective because your plant has so much bush going on. And also the ventilation will help with that, to not be such an enclosed habitat for pests and not such an enclosed habitat for disease. So we want our plant to be able to breathe. Now I'm going to go along through here and I'm going to look at this plant. We've got a lot going on, and we can see here that here's a sucker that has gotten an opportunity to get really large. A lot of people would hate to cut off something that large. I have a choice to make, and I need to decide if there's going to be enough production on this to keep it, and or which is this the top of the plant, or is this the top of the plant? Your first clue is obviously the placement, which you can tell where this grew is right in between the branch and the main vine of the plant. So that gives indication that's a sucker. Another way is to follow the flowers. So you can see on this side we have flowers that are in bloom, and on this side we have some flowers, not very many for such a big stalk coming off of there. And we have to decide, the plant has now split. If we leave the split, the plant's going to be split into where it's going to give its nutrition, and then again we're sacrificing quality in everything for a quantity. So I don't want to do that. I want to choose quality. I'm going to get rid of this big old thing here. He's going to go, and this is the top of my plant, and I'm going to place my string, grab a clip, and I'm going to support this as it matures all the way up like that.